Arise, libertarians, above totalitarians. Our guide is the mighty invisible hand. Reject state controllers, collectors, patrollers. Our choices are better than government plans. Taxation is a form of theft. Free markets and free trade are best. Free speech, free movement, free minds and free choice. Our actions are all voluntary, not coerced or compulsory. War we abhor, socialism does not work. No debt for inflation, no self-confiscation, no pigs in the trough and the gravy to drink, no state education to brainwash our nation, no experts dictate what to do, what to think. We scorn your fiat currency. Gold and Bitcoin is our money. We own ourselves and we live and let live. We take responsibility. Love and liberty. Leave us alone. Let 1,000 flowers bloom.
Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to the LO3 podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date is Wednesday, April 8th, 2021. It is a late Wednesday night, so some of you folks may just get it the next day. Well, just to let you know, this was entitled Libertarian National Anthem, performed by Dominic Frisby and his cohorts. And it doesn't matter what you think about the libertarian movement, but a lot of areas I can say, when I first heard this, that was awesome. And they actually, what they've done, they did the parody, the rhythm and all that, from the USSR's national anthem. So it was a total mockery of what they done. And I think it's beautiful. And I just dedicate this to the Biden administration, to the tyrants around the world, regardless of they're Democrat or Republican. Very inspirational. So you don't get mad. You get them back with love and in good faith. And they hate that more with the passion. I was listening to Chris Ann Hall show today, which I always give them props. Her and JC and the husband was like doing the show solo, and talked about the FDA and the FDA in reference to the COVID-19 vaccine. And what does the Pfizer, Johnson, and of course, what's the other one? Pfizer, Johnson, and oh my goodness, I think I just did a brain fart here. I get it here in a moment, so I know I got my footnotes here. I should have brought this out, but that's okay. I'm going to get my stuff out of my bag here. But it's very interesting because, they claim that Press Secretary Psaki said, oh yeah, that three vaccines been approved by the FDA, and he actually read read it and said, no, they didn't. And yeah, Moderna, Pfizer, the COVID-19 vaccines, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson aren't FDA approved. This is from the letters they got around February 25th and 27th of 2021. And it says here, criteria is under criteria of issuance. It's under number 3. There is no adequate, approved, and available alternative to the emergency of the vaccine to prevent COVID-19. So everyone's making a thing, take your shots. Take the vaccine shot. CDC, right? CDC's promoting it. So why the hell then, when did they start approving vaccines? If the Food and Drug Administration didn't approve it. That's right, folks. You got to question authority on these areas. I haven't taken the shot because they never approved it. Well, because the CDC said so? Oh, yeah, let's assume. And what gets to be the most, even is Commissioner Stephen Geller, Mayor Stephen Geller from Broward County. Oh, yeah, Fauci's such a great man. I like him a lot. Please. Everyone took the shots because Fauci said so. If he says jump off head first, will you do it? If he says pull down your pants to get a kickback, will you do it? Folks, you better start doing some research before jumping to conclusions. And even a person like myself, a ragtag maverick, learned about this today. And you know what? That's fine. Let's go to FDA's website and look under COVID-19 vaccines. You'll find it. And you get the letter statements and all that. Very chilling. Talk about the side effects and all that too. But the letters to these companies, they're not approved. So always question. Do your homework. You got the blasted internet, for goodness sakes. Utilize it. However, Mike Adams from Natural News, some people call him the quack, but he's not, did address about if you're taking the shot, you could do a, he said he recommends a non-inflammatory diet. Okay, no processed foods, no homogenized milk, etc. Because remember, folks, everything has a reaction to it. This is why I always support natural remedies. Because I'm always convinced every infection has an Achilles heel. But I have to share this with you because everyone has the right to know the truth. I always give thanks to J.C. Hall for addressing that to me. Had the fact sheet and I actually read the letters. So, always observe responsibly, folks. This is not a conspiracy, any conspiracy sites. Snopes can't even refute it. And all these other fact-checking hacks. But I recommend everyone just do your little homework. Just look up FDA.gov and look for FDA COVID-19 vaccines. I'll tell you all about it. And just do a little scoping around. Look under letter of statement in those pages. And you'll find it there. There's the categories for the Pfizer and Biotech, Johnson, and Moderna. I'm going to let everyone know about this too. I just told people at the restaurant, the place I was at, downtowner, like, what? Goes, yeah. So never assume. And the reason why I say it is because I want people to be safe. That includes my enemies. I don't wish any of these individuals ill will. I don't want to see their family members get caught in that trick bag. Don't listen to politicians. Do your homework, folks. and blast them with the facts. Prima facie. Just cause. It means on its face. And another thing is real hysterical. In Portland, they did some $4 million deal, and all the park rangers will be unarmed. Looks like it's gonna be expect help wanted unarmed park rangers in Portland. Good grief. The stuff that's happening over there. And there's some good folks in that city. Probably certain sections like everywhere else, but come on. People are just out of their effing minds. Can't even tie their own shoelaces, yeah? These dingleberries. Even Ted Wheeler. Pff. Good grief. It just dawns on me how some of these clowns, high-paid clowns, is in those positions. So, that'll be enough of that. We're going to talk about a few things. Mainly about gun control. Second time I've done this. Back to back. Remember, Joe Biden is nothing more than a bend-over Bob to the New World Order. First white privileged president in U.S. history, in my personal opinion. Don't tell that to the social justice warriors. They may wig out. But who cares? It's okay to throw it back at them. Good grief. Bunch of one-dimensional hacks. It's another synthetic movement. With all due respect. So this one here came from the Epoch Times. It was written by Jack Phillips. Biden announces new gun control action, says it's a public health crisis. Drama queen in action. Probably reading it from a cue card. Or a teleprompter. President Joe Biden on April 8th announced several new gun control measures after 2 mass shootings last month, claiming that shootings are a public health crisis. Gun violence in this country is an epidemic and it's an international embarrassment, he said in a speech at the White House, where he was joined by Vice President Kamala Harris and Attorney General Merrick Garland. So you got yippee, yapping, yahooey on the same platform or stage. Reports said several gun control advocates and local officials also attended. I wonder how many of them were hired to be there, right? Nothing I'm about to recommend in any impinges on the Second Amendment. There are phony arguments that these are Second Amendment rights at stake from what we're talking about. Sorry, chump. Natural rights. It's a natural right. Okay? According to text provided by the White House, Biden is directing the Department of Justice to, within 30 days, issue a proposed rule aimed at curbing the spread of so-called ghost guns, or guns that are made from build-it-yourself kits. The government will also, in the next 2 months, issue a proposed ruling declaring that a pistol equipped with a stabilizing brace will be labeled a short barrel rifle, and it will publish model red flag legislations for states. Okay, so I want to continue on here. 3 other actions announced April 7th by the administration, including investing in community violence intervention, meant to curb the spike in murders and shootings seen last year, issued an annual report on firearms trafficking, and nominating David Chipman as the director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Chipman is a former advisor to the gun control advocacy group Every Town for Gun Safety, and currently an advisor at Giffords, an organization says it works to stop gun violence. I fought my entire career to end this violence and to pass reasonable gun safety laws, Harris said as she introduced the president on April 7th. The solutions exist. People on both sides of the aisle want action. Real people. So all that is left is the will and the courage to act. Biden called Congress to take action, saying enough prayers, it's time for some action. Earlier on April 8th, several prominent gun rights groups, including National Rifle Association of Gun Owners of America, criticized Biden's announcement. The latter group described Biden's announcement as tyrannical in nature. Like a dictator, Biden is seeking to unilaterally regulate firearms that gun owners currently own. And he's doing this via executive action, bypassing the constitutional requirements which give Congress the authority to pass legislation. Gun Owners of America said on April 8th, the NRA, meanwhile, warned after Biden's speech this order will dismantle the Second Amendment. Well, here's the thing. It would be called an illegal contract under Article 1, Section 10 of our U.S. Constitution. Fact. Regardless if if it's approved by the House and all that, it doesn't matter. All these 25,000 gun laws in the books are null and void, including Butt Boy Biden's rhetoric and Bald Lives Matter Harris, Huey and Dewey. And another thing too, they want serial numbers on these built kits. And according to the 1968 Gun Control Act, parts don't need to have serial numbers. So he wants to invade your right of privacy. Can we say Roe v. Wade? Infringing on the 9th and 14th Amendments of the U.S. Constitution? Absolutely. But these glamboyant hacks don't give a damn. It's government. Means in Latin, control of the mind. So, I'm not too surprised and not impressed at all. That's how Biden thinks. Oh, I did the assault weapons ban, or I can do it again. Tell me in Black's Law Dictionary what is an assault weapon. It's all fairy tale, folks. It's just baseless rhetoric. He wants the state to have more firepower than the people. That's what the Second Amendment is all about. Make sure the people have the same amount or greater firepower than their adversary. Whether if they're foreign or domestic. So I just get a big kick out of these things, and I just scratch my head. The same old song and dance, my friend. Nothing new under the sun. It's called enslavement. Him and Harris, probably their Lord and Savior, is Anthony Johnston, for all we know. The first black man that owned slaves, black and white. Anthony Johnston's legacy continues, or we call him the Jim Crow's number one fans, right there. Even Garland, yeah, and of course that glam boy, Chipman, yeah, not impressed at all. You're gonna have a director for the ATF and never really did any law enforcement in their entire life. And I remember I talked about it yesterday in my about him on his LinkedIn page. He's like a member of the International Associations of Chief of Police. What the hell is that? He's never been a police officer, okay? Just a pencil pusher, as far as I'm concerned. May know about explosives and all that, but really not that impressive. So we're going to go around here on Newsmax.com. White House Cagey about prospects for gun sale background checks. Came out today as well, and this was written by, they don't really say here, right? No, they don't really say. Oh, you'll find, so I just did everything PDF here. So let's see what they have to say about this. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on Thursday finessed a vexing question about congressional log jam over a hot hot-button gun control issue, federal background checks for firearm purchases. In the wake of President Joe Biden's announcement of several executive actions aimed at curtailing gun violence, Psaki was asked if the White House believes Congress will actually pass 2 bills expanding checks. The president is going to lead the analysis of what is viable and doable to all of you, she said, the Daily Caller reported. He is not vote counting himself, she said. He is also clear about challenges in moving forward the legislation at the Senate. He will continue to advocate for that just as he did today. This morning in the Rose Garden, surrounded by some bravest and most courageous advocates for gun control, gun safety legislation in the country. He also is not going to wait. When pressed on how that communication between Biden and the divided Congress will go, Psaki replied, I certainly would anticipate the president will arrange conversations with members of Congress. I can assure you, where this is appropriate for members of the administration in the White House and otherwise to communicate with members of Congress, that will certainly continue to be at the top of our list. 2 recent bills on background checks passed the House on March 12th, but are now stalled in the Senate, CBS News reported. The bills are the first significant gun control measures passed by the House since Biden took office. Background checks is being one of his campaign promises, the news outlet noted. First bill was approved, 227 to 203, with 8 Republicans joining almost all Democrats. It will establish background check requirements for gun sales between private parties, prohibiting transfer unless a licensed gun dealer, manufacturer, or importer first takes possession of the firearm to conduct a background check. The legislation will not apply to certain transfers, such as a gift between spouses. What a pipe dream this is, right? The legislation had 3 COP co-sponsors, Representative Fred Upton of Michigan, Christopher Smith of New Jersey, and Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania. Bend over, Bob's and proud. The second bill would close so-called Charleston loophole, which allowed gun sales to go through before background checks are completed. Under that loophole, Dylan Roof was able to purchase a firearm in 2015 that he used to murder 9 people at a historically black church in South Carolina. Just to let you folks know that the churches, by law, the churches were considered firearm-free zones in the South Carolina laws. I talk about that in my past episodes during that time. So I was like, oh man, about 5-6 years now. Time flies, right? The bill would increase an amount of time firearm sellers must wait to receive a completed background check before transferring the firearm to an unlicensed buyer from 3 to 10 days. It passed by a vote of 219 to 210, with 2 Republicans voting for it and 2 Democrats voted against it. So that's interesting there. So they want to do 3 to 10 days, right? So they're going to try to do this federal overreach. The challenge in the Senate is more difficult. Most legislation requires 60 votes to advance in the Senate, so Democrats will need support from 10 Republicans to overcome legislative filibuster, CBS noted. So the whole thing is, what they want to do is trying to have a more federal overreach, tell the states how to do things for your own well-being, which is invalid, and of course, want to breach your right of privacy. Can we say Roe v. Wade? Damn straight. Like I said before, I'm not a big fan of abortion. However, when you look at the case, it's talking about the right of privacy, okay, under the 9th and 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. So yes, this is another anti-Roe v. Wade bill. So they say, we can have right of privacy for one group, but not for another. Can we say exceptionalism 101? Yep. Yes, indeed. A bunch of crackpots, pencil pushers, trying to tell you how to live and think and wipe your, and they want things, they have this fetish called centralization. Well, you know what? They can stick it far as I'm concerned. And that's the damn fact. So, there's another one here, a couple things I'm going to talk about. This one here came from the JPFO, Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership. Came out today. Because what's going on here, folks? All these little ideas, including a red flag law, could be the road to genocide or democide. If you study the history of 20th century genocide and gun control, boom, it's just self-explanatory. When you go even further back, some of the stuff they want to propose now, they've done it to certain ethno groups, including the American blacks. I recommend a good video to watch from the JPFO. It's called No Guns for Negroes. I know I posted that many times, but if you're first-time listeners, check it out. No Guns for Negroes. Okay, jpfo.org. Very good educational site. And they want us back. They want to support enslavement. They go, no, it's just for your own protection. It's a safety thing. We will watch you guys. Spare me. Yeah, explain that when the ATF murdered most of the people at that Branch Davidian on April 19th, 1993. Yeah, I call those people murderers. All right, so this is what it has to say here. Holocaust Remembrance Day, April 8th, 2021. Do what's needed to stop genocide. Government penetrates societal murder. Only you can stop it. JPFO calls to officials to have gone unheeded. That's unacceptable. Today, April 8th, many of the people in the world will take a moment out of their busy lives to quietly reflect on how cruel we humans can be to each other as we recall the Shoah, or the World War II Holocaust, when Germany and its allies attempted to erase an entire religion and its followers from the face of the planet. They failed. They died more horrible deaths and destruction than they planned for their victims, while they thrived, bringing monumental bounty and prosperity to the world. Genocide is a tool basically of governments, but also of societies and religions that must never be sanctioned, endorsed, tolerated, or endured with a blind eye as it is. Even now, in the dark corners of the world, Muslims, Christians, Jews, Buddhists, and other swathes of society, hated with intensity, are targets of the atrocity. The haters believe they are right, even approved, and proceed with glee. Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership, jpfo.org, understands there is no one you can reach out when you are target of organized slaughter and enslavement, which is why we endorse and teach individual responsibility in an armed public. History unequivocally shows that only a balance of power maintains freedom. End of this Holocaust Remembrance Day, we ask again, could Germany have slaughtered 6 million Jews if they all had been armed and trained? We answer our own question, no. And we repeat our battle cry, never again. And even if you watch the video, Innocence Betrayed, in a book that was written by Richard Stevens and the late, great Aaron Zellman, Death by Gun Control, The Human Cost of Victim Disarmament. You can say roughly, according to their homework and sources from the Death by Government by the late R.J. Rummel, they're saying about almost a little close to 20.5 million people died under the hand of Hitler, for an example. And even Selman said the best, it wasn't just the Jews, it was everybody else. And according to their sources and their research, a lot of death by government, 10.5 million of them were Slavs or Eastern Europeans. So it doesn't matter. They go after everybody. And they try to do the same thing over here with the Christians. And to anyone else. It's called a ripple effect, folks. And this is why you got to be vigilant. You never trust these parasites. Nothing more than ungrateful scumbags, as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't matter what paradigm, party, doesn't matter. You guys go by principle. So I'm going to add another memo on here. Resources to protect the right and keep and bear arms. Gives you a good insight. By Chris Ann Hall. Gives you stuff from Federalist Papers 49 and 46. And there's a lot of stuff on here. How to contact your legislators for the Second Amendment Preservation Act. There's a lot of bills you can look up. And it's very important. And you can thank the 10th Amendment Center for this too. If you got to use a template. So that's another fantastic group. So I'm going to leave this as a footnote. So you got solutions. Okay. Nullification works. The 18th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution was a reason why prohibition of alcohol failed, because of nullification. It does work, folks. It's not a race thing or anything like that. That's or slavery. That is nothing more than a monumental lie. But it's very educational. So I encourage everyone to check it out and share this far and wide. I want to thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or something that's interesting you want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence from Decorum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of these articles on my Spreaker page. And if you want to email me, you can hit me at LookYourLuckNumber03@protonmail.com. If you want to donate, you can hit me at paypal.me or cash.app/LookYourLuckNumber3. If you want to donate or subscribe to Epoch Times, Newsmax, Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership, or Chris Ann Hall Show, that would be great. Because the bottom line is this: we're here to give you the truth the best we can, and none of the mainstream media garbage can do a damn thing about it. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading the love. And may your guardian spirits be with you.